Down through the years, there have been reports of unidentified flying objects. With the dawn of the space age, the frequency of these reports have increased. Many people believe that these UFOs are indeed space vehicles from outer space, manned by living creatures sometimes called humanoids. On rare occasion, actual contact with these creatures from space have been reported. But on Thursday night, October 11, 1973, the most dramatic and convincing UFO incident in history was reported. This report came from here in Pascagoula, Mississippi, a shipbuilding city of approximately 40,000 population. Just after dark, 43-year-old Charles Hickson and 19-year-old Calvin Parker, Hickson's nephew, were fishing from a pier on the Pascagoula River at the site of an old abandoned shipyard. Here now is what happened as reported by the Mississippi Press Register Friday, October 12th. Past men forced aboard UFO here. Weird creatures emerged from a hovering egg-shaped spacecraft and floated 1 foot in the air toward Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker, who were fishing. They took them by the forearms and floated them back into the spaceship, where they placed them on a table and used a gadget that looked like an eye to examine them. The creatures were 5 feet high, had pointed ears, 2 eyes, and a hole below the eyes. One of them made a buzzing sound. That was the statement 2 Pascagoula men told the Jackson County Sheriff's Office Thursday night. Hickson, 45, a foreman at Walker Shipyard, told officers that he and Parker, an 18-year-old relative, were fishing from the wharf on the Pascagoula River near the old shipyard south of the toll bridge shortly after dark. They told officers that the spaceship, which was described as being oblong or egg-shaped with a pulsating blue light, landed just above the water about 40 feet away. 3 creatures emerged from an opening in the front of the ship and moved across the water, they said. At this point, Hickson told officers, Parker fainted. The creatures moved up to him, Hickson, and took him, gently he said, by the forearms, and they floated him back into the opening of the spaceship. Their hands, he said, resembled pincers. Once inside the spaceship, he said they placed him on the examining table and used the eye to go over him head to toe. He was not scared. Only one of the creatures made a sound, Hickson told officers, and it was a buzzing noise. The others remained silent. Apparently, Parker was also taken into the craft, but Hickson said he was not aware of where Parker was. The younger boy was still unconscious. After the examination, Hickson and Parker were taken back to the wharf where they had been fishing. Sheriff Fred Diamond, whose department handled the investigation, was convinced the men were telling the truth. Here is a report of the sheriff's investigation from the Mississippi Press Register. At first, the 2 decided not to tell anyone. Ain't no use reporting this, Hickson said he told Parker. Won't nobody believe us. But the 2 decided they had to tell someone, and they stopped at the Mississippi Press offices. No newsmen were present, however, and they decided to go to the sheriff's office. Captain Glenn Ryder said he didn't believe the men at first. I thought they were pulling my leg. The young boy, Parker, was scared to death. He was almost in shock. The officer said he tried everything he knew to break their stories, but they persisted. He said he then placed them in a cell which had a hidden tape recorder. They didn't know about the recorder, said Ryder. My God, Hickson said on tape, I never seen anything like this in my life. My nerves are wrecked. I got to get out of here. Ryder said Parker at this time was praying. I didn't believe their story at first, said Ryder, but I do now after I got them on tape. If they were lying to me, they should be in Hollywood. According to Sheriff Fred Diamond, they have decided not to make any more public statements. The sheriff said the 2 are willing to talk to federal officials. Diamond said they also said they would like to go to Jackson to take a lie detector's test. I believe they're sincere, Diamond said, and I believe their story is true. This news attracted interested scientists and UFO research experts from all over the world. Here's the report of 2 scientists who interrogated Hickson and Parker while they were under hypnosis. 2 area men who told that they were taken aboard a UFO here Thursday night were put under hypnosis Saturday by 2 scientists who have spent years studying reports of UFOs. Both doctors said the men were telling the truth, that they were indeed taken aboard and extraterrestrial craft. Dr. James Harder, professor at the University of California, and also associated with Aerial Phenomena Research Organization, APRO, and Dr. Alan Hynek, professor of astronomy at Northwestern University of Chicago, spent about 4 hours with the two Gaucher men. Charles Hickson, 45, and Calvin Parker, 19, spent several hours separately under hypnosis Saturday, reliving their strange story of being taken aboard a spaceship. These are not unbalanced people, said Dr. Hynek. They're not crackpots. There was definitely something here that was not terrestrial, of Earth, said Harder. Where they, ships from outer space, came from and why they were here is a matter of conjecture, he continued, but the fact that they are here on this planet is true beyond a reasonable doubt. Both men agreed that the sighting and subsequent action of being taken aboard the UFO is probably one of the most dramatic ever recorded. The doctors did not go into detail about the alleged spacecraft and pilots, but said the facts reported by the news media is substantially correct. They emphasized that as far as they're concerned, Hickson and Parker did see strange wrinkled creatures with pointed ears, slits for eyes, a sharp nose, and a hole below the nose. Dr. Harder said Parker and Hickson had faced experiences for which they were totally unprepared. He compared their experiences to that of an aborigine in Australia who is suddenly confronted by a jumbo jet. Dr. Harder said their experience was indeed a real one. It was no